Hey everyone, I just wanted to give an update on the rice fish project and show you guys what I've done so far. So the smallest pool, I just finished planting it. I did a mixture of different plants, so when it grows in, it'll look really nice. It'll be a really uh, thick forest of aquatic plants. I added some wood and rocks to help with the nitrogen bacteria, and then yeah, this pool is pretty much done. I just need to level out the rocks. I have quite a few rocks over in one area, and once that's leveled, I can start adding the fish I want to it. This will be a mixed pool, so the Medaka that I want to produce different colors and colors that I don't have will go into this one, which is going to be a majority of them. Um, I broke down the pond that was over there, so it's starting to happen. It's just taking a long time. And then, yeah, I have those two still. But I did finish with the saran wrap on top of these tanks so you guys can see what the end result is for these plants. So you guys can see what I meant about it getting bushy and growing out. Looks so nice. But yeah, I usually end up misting it once a day. I've noticed if you don't mist it often and it will end up drinking most of the water in the tank pretty quickly. I filled this up the other day and it's already lost so much just from these plants. So you got to keep on top of watering them all the time, but I think it's worth it. They look really nice. And then as far as the fish go, I still have the outdoor fish I need to add, and I really need to add them today because it's starting to rain a lot more, and their tubs out there are starting to get really full with rainwater. But these tanks are pretty much maxed out. I'll likely end up setting up these black tubs over here. So I was gonna make multiple of these, which is just gonna have gravel, probably a sponge filter, and a heater. And I'm not sure if I want to categorize them in these tubs, like the black one's going one, and then the platinum's going another, and then like subcategories for the long fins and whatnot. It's gonna be a lot of tubs, but I might end up doing that. I know I'm gonna put fish in it, so I'm gonna have at least 6 of these out. So and you guys will see what I mean when I send them up. It'll make more sense. But yeah, that's pretty much the update for this. There isn't too much. I have a lot to do today with it. But yeah. Okay, so I have this tank emptied, and it's been holding up pretty well for how long I haven't touched it. But what I have in here so far for the hardscape is 2 rocks, and I glued pieces of wood to them about, I want to say, a year ago. And this tank got really overcrowded and beautiful and completely filled up to the top with plants. So I cut that all down and I figured I'd start over and reset it. So I'll just do a couple shots of me quickly doing this. I have a bunch of plants over here on the side that I've picked out that I want in here. So I'll clean this up and get some plants in there. And there we go. Got it planted. I also added a extra piece of wood just so I wanted to add a cave that I can actually view, so that adds a little bit of a cave for whatever we add to it. But yeah, the water's a little stirred up right now and the plants look a little sparse, but they'll grow in, and within a couple weeks this will look really nice. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I also wanted to mention, when I'm breeding my fish, I try to feed them brine shrimp. So I'll do a separate video on how to set up brine shrimp and how I feed the Medaka. It's actually really fun. I really enjoy growing them, but I'll do a separate video about that. I just wanted to mention it, just in case you guys were curious on what I feed them and how I feed them. So I prefer to use flakes when I can afford them. They're pretty expensive from the pet store, but I'm going to be trying to make my own flakes. I like to use the flakes because you can crumble them up into tiny little pieces, and it helps the Medaka be able to eat more of it. They don't have a lot of killifish in general don't have that extendable jaw that a lot of predatory fish have, so they can't really eat anything that is larger than how much they can open their mouth. So crumbling up the flakes helps them a lot, especially when you have juvenile fish or fry that are really small, because they really don't have a chance of eating anything, and they can get really malnourished really quick if you don't do that. But fish flake is definitely their favorite. I do algae pellets also, but the flakes are a good way to make sure that all of them are able to eat. Plus, it's really fun because as you do this more and more, they'll start to see you as like the food bringer, and they'll become more and more tame, and they'll start to get more excited as you feed them, because they know that if your hand's going over the tank, then they're probably going to get fed. This tank. And then I did want to mention also for the plants that are on the top, because I did have someone ask me. It's a Ludwigia repens is the species of it, and it's one of the hardiest plants I think I've ever grown. I've had it forever, and it's so easy to switch it from being underwater to being on the land. It doesn't need to kill off any leaves when it goes underwater. So all it really does is it'll change a slightly different color, but it'll still keep all of its leaves. So if I decided to pull this off the top of the tank and put it in the tank, then it would do just as well as it is on top. So it's a really cool plant. I highly recommend getting it. It's cheap. You can buy it almost anywhere that sells aquatic plants. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that since I keep bringing it up in my videos. If everyone's getting enough food. Okay, yeah, just wanted to make a quick video showing myself feeding them.